or weather coming in kind of bottleneck them and just clean up the kills.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to see the guys getting ready here. This is the lobby, of course. Now, just to highlight that as well, for one of the large squares on the map, the 1,000-meter looking things, it's about 3 minutes running at full pace from one side to the other. So you can imagine that's where positioning really can make big differences, and that's where the awareness will come in, especially when you know the circle times and how it plays out. But 1 minute left. This is your chance at home to get using that hashtag. Hashtag Battlegrounds. Who are you supporting? Which duo do you fancy? Or maybe the individual who's going to do it. And revives now become a thing, of course. Solos, we don't see it. You don't see it, of course. Now it's all about it. It's not just about the knockout. It's about confirming that kill. We're going to keep tabs on all of this and how it plays through. You want those level 3 helmets because you know you may be able to suffer through a little bit more, but you can see outside of there warming up as well. He's going to be my underdog of the day, right? He's the guy with his teammate. That's the team I'm going to put my eyes on. TSM already proven they are well in the runnings for this. We've seen the Korean guys coming in and just changing what people expected. So many big plays so far. I can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how Cloud9 do. We know that Sweat is a very, very vocal person on 3-person, and he enjoys third-person mode. He does say it. And I tell you what, I respect the man for doing so. You get a lot of people being active and saying first person is definitely the way forward, but Swear, he's standing his ground. So for me, it's seeing whether or not he can prove it today. Let's see where this plane does come in from.
Takes a second, obviously, to come into the map here, but once we see it, we can kind of talk through the options that's available. All right, so it's a southwest start. Looking like it's going to head over what? Like Quarry, maybe towards Mansion side? No, not that north. Maybe more Shelter, Prison. So that's Military Island is in for the long parachute. You can definitely make that. Georgia Pole, you've got the hospital area that you can make it towards. Rozhok is in, Yasnaya is in. We have a really nice spread here. I'm hoping we see some Primos play. That's a really good shout. It looks like, Luminosity are going for it, and I'm really happy. That's a great place for duos. You can very much isolate areas and keep it clean. We've got a couple of West Road plays up there. We've got, Forzen I can see heading north, TSM heading north. Georgia Pole might be a very hot area. We'll see if they go further, quicker down towards maybe Gatka. And we can see a couple of players, the Panda guys, heading right over towards a military base. Not a bad play at all. Also, let's remember that Milta might have the action of getting a car, heading towards Novo. Everything is up for grabs here. I'd like to see people going for the extremes of Zaki, maybe Severny. That'd be fun. But all the action for me right now will be towards that northwest to begin with as they drop first, and northeast will be just getting into it once they can hit that Yasnaya point, or maybe even lower down towards School and Rozhok.
Well, unfortunately, I do have to disappointingly say we do have to restart this server.
Oh no! Why have you done this?
I do apologize. We do have to restart this server just as several people are making their way down to military base, so we will bring this back. Apologies, guys. We need to make sure all the players are happy and make sure this is all fair and done. So we'll get you an update as to exactly what's going to happen next. Give us a few more minutes and we'll get this server rebooted for you guys as quickly as possible. But as you mentioned, there were several viable options there.
That was a really nice drop.
Yeah, where do you go from there? I mean, you had the center. People can make their way up north if they wanted to. You had quite a lot of higher up ends viable, as you mentioned. Georgia Pole, Yasnaya, Roz, they were all easily accessible. Then you can make your way down over to Milta. I didn't really see many people making their way to Milta. Now, I'm a big Milta fan.
I'm not. Because it's very hard to follow it up. You're walking into areas where people are already set. So Milta, the town, okay, I can see some credit. But Milta Power Station, the actual power station itself, the one that's on the further east coast near the rock side, I don't think loot's that good. Now, I know people will happily prove me wrong and they'll have a discussion on that. I actually prefer the smaller piece of the Milta Power. Yeah, yes. I actually think that's not too bad. But the thing is that let's say you don't get the full gear that you want. Let's say that doesn't happen for you. Where do you go next? Do you play late to Prison? Probably not. You're going to be walking into people already geared. Do you head to Milta Town? People are already there. It's very hard to then transition away from that area for me.
Well, we've just had an update from the floor. Apparently, we are now continuing on with the game, which is an interesting one.
Let's get into this.
So,
all right.
We apologize, guys. We're just being advised now that this game will continue on. So let's kick things off with Chappie.
We've already got a couple of kills coming through as well, just down towards the south. So we're going to have to just jump into seeing how this goes through. Nice work from the Liquid boys so far. At least Scoom, he's got himself a car. A little bit to work with as well. Yeah, that's with Moleman. So the Liquid guys have gone towards George. That's one of the higher likely spawns that there's 15 of, the high chance vehicle spawns. He's clearly got one. He can head out towards Zaki. He's going to go out of the circle, but plenty of time with that Darcia to get over there and get everything done. But let's see the spread. Yeah, this is very nice. This is a very open spread.
The interesting thing is, look at where the circle is. Obviously, we saw that mid to bottom area where the plane came straight across. People who have gone down, and there are people still making their way down now across the bridge, all the way at Novo.
Worth it.
especially if they've got the vehicles. You saw them in the vehicles, so they can just get the gear and get the hell out of dodge, move their way up to the north, and then they'll be inside the circle.
Yeah, I like this play from the Liquid guys. I don't know if there's anyone already in Zaki. I didn't quite check it myself, but they pretty much got this. There's also the mini underground bunkers that are on the way back towards Severny, and with that circle so north, they only have to kind of traverse in on these. If they want to find a boat even, that does become an option. I don't think they're the players to do it, but basically for me, this is a really nice play to begin with. Zaki, it may not be high milli, but you've got a couple of the hangars too. Over there, you've got some of the guard towers as well, so you will be able to get decent loot. Maybe a fuel can just get them back in the circle nice and comfy, but with already a rifle in hand, everything else, they're looking really nice to begin with. And there's a bit of a battle going down towards the south side of Severny. It looks like one's in the car, they're trying to get away from each other. And yeah, every compound is now getting busy. Even TSM taking some pot shots as well on the cars going by. This is going to be far more, I guess, in the action, right? There's still revives possible, so Moondie here walking around, well, not walking, excuse me, driving around Lost Aiming, but there's already a team in Severny. I remember seeing it, so they're walking into already preset action. It looks like they have some loot, a UMP, full auto. I don't see armor on the players, so that could be an issue. Now they're going to spot the darts here. They're going to know what's up. They need to get out of there, and this is what I'm saying. If you roll up late to areas, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to take shots. It's a very risky play playing late into these areas now. Maybe head towards that northern side, pick your way through, but you will be playing under-geared here.
I like exactly what he did. Rather than turn and face into this actual city, unfortunately, which may have led to other people being there, they've just got the hell out and says, okay, we'll pick a compound. You saw him mark it on the map, we'll drive over there, get yourself some time. Hopefully there will be a bit more loot, but now if they need to come back there, if there's no loot there, they're going to have a bit of a difficult time, which will make them and force them upwards north. Fair play to him. Just looking at some of the other players now. Ollie level 3 helmet. That's a nice way to work it. 2 ARs as well. 1 in the back pocket and 1 in front. It all depends how many people are there. I mean, you look at his teammate. He is a fair distance. If he did go down, he's going down. There's no one there to revive him. But when you're so far kind of out in the open, you have these mini compounds to yourself, you've got a decent chance of getting loot. NPR, though, speaking of loot, doesn't look that well geared whatsoever. No helmet, no chest. Hopefully they can pick something up. But as you mentioned earlier, Lauren, they're going to start turning up to these compounds now, and people are already going to be there. Yeah,
it is true, but you've got to go for fights at that point, don't you? That's what goes into the back of your mind is, all right, if we're not getting loot, you're forced to take fights, and they're maybe not ideal fights either. So you might be able to get a little bit more from this, maybe a couple of stims coming through, a couple of, shots coming out as well. Molban's gone down. Forzen actually finding that kill. Big pickup for him. Great loot as well. This is going to really upgrade him. Clearly already in that compound. Wait, yes! This is over at Zaki. This was the early play that I thought was going to work out really well for Liquid. They've got rolled up on, so this is a huge problem. I'm pretty sure there might be one more member alive for the Liquid guys over on this side of things. But that's a good quick hit and run. Get out there, Forzen. You've got some sick loot. Make a move. Get back. You could chill out now. You've got a perfect upgrade.
Leads me to kind of think is, did Forzen's teammate actually get taken down? Because I'm looking across there now. Might have some sort of replay. Oh, yeah, there it is. Really quickly up north. No, we're going to try and get some more POVs for you guys. There we have it. We'll jump back to Panda.
Yeah.
Moose POV. What gear is he wearing? We got a level 2 vest, level 2 helmet, shotgun in the back pocket.
Play.
Yeah.
And I prefer this side of town. It's quick and efficient looting more than anything. I actually hate these buildings personally. You can get great loot out of it. I'm not going to say you can't. But it's a lot of time to check a lot of buildings for not necessarily the same amount as loot as the kind of 6 buildings. You know, the kind of smaller, more residential looking buildings. But you can see he's got decent loot here. He's going to be pretty well set in this sort of position. Got the Scar. Got it pretty well set. You've got, what, a flash hider on it, angled. He's doing nicely here. Cake actually had a bit, he was one of my MVPs actually. He played really well coming into this. That M24 he picked up on the coast.
Insane.
Really nice.
It was more the fact that
look, Gassy Mexican's just there. I wonder if they can actually open up on this. They can go for a bit of a spray. Well. Yeah, this could be big. If they can actually find the shots, I don't know if they're going to engage. They might be able to do with that car unless they've already parked theirs in. But look at it. Cake is being such a git in this, just taking all the vehicles, and you're kind of screwing over other players. Now, it does look as though Adren's gone down. He's been final killed as well. No revive coming in. Stylish Noob actually finding Anger too. That's going to be one of the teams from the Mythic side. The CSGO player's gone. That's them removed. So it'll be Flom and Lex left in to try and represent those boys, but really nice pick up there coming through. That was over in the south side of what looks like Georgia Pole. Yeah, the kind of south side, very extremity side of it. So brilliant play from him. He's got to be a little cautious. There's still another team here. Oshi7 Serenity. They might have heard those shots, so they're going to have to prepare themselves for what they're going to find out here. Sticking his AR on full auto because he does know someone else is there. But as you mentioned, the more teams that they kill, pretty much the more that they're able to just keep on looting. We're looking at some other POVs as well, I think. No, we're going to go back to Stylish Noobs. Yes, we are. We're changing this is OC7, so he's heard those shots.
And they're going to be rolling in on them. Now, they need to be careful, because if they're just hanging out the windows, this is where things start to become a problem, because they get the initial sight on them.
Yeah, but they also have to move from this area, and OC7 knows it. He doesn't want to stick in the blue. He's probably not got enough to get through. Oh, he's going to spot the player out. Takes his time on the shot. Full auto spraying. Nice work. Only gets the knockdown, not full kill. Oh, he's trying to stick around to get the kill. Maybe a little too much of a bloodlust going on there. Oh, top. He completely misses out. He needs to fall back down this defilade. Pray that Serenity can bail him out of this one. But now, what does the player on the roof do? Go for the kill or go for the revive? This is the options that now become available.
You mentioned the options, though. I mean, you looked at it from that point. They are getting him up, but he went for the kill. He actually pretty much got a little bit too greedy, as you mentioned. You were quite surprised that he was poking up. He didn't know the player was on top of the building, which is fair play, but it's whether or not that tree's going to give himself enough cover, because two of them can just push down. But as you mentioned, the defilade is there. They still have the height advantage, and he's going for another crack. He's going to lean over this wall. Let's see what he can do.
If Serenity was quick enough, she should be able to get there and be hidden a little bit by the defilade and a little bit by the tree, but he's got the nade in hand. He knows what's going on. He knows the 1 bit of safety. You've got to be careful, though. This could be a double kill.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, the nade's come through. Does it land? It goes a little too far, but he's back up. He's running. He needs to stim up himself and heal. The blue's on the way. The full auto spray comes out from the Scar as well from the high ground. This battle is going to be tricky for them as well. Oh, lovely shot. This guy, Stylish Noob, has got some power to him as well. Serenity's now down. OC7 has the option. Do I go for the revive? Do I need to lay down fire? How do I get out of this? He's at such a disadvantage. Needs to land a shot. No, he's gone. Brilliant stuff between Stylish Noob and Shaka, dominating the high ground, taking down Fremily.
Standing their ground and keeping on track. They just take control of the level 3 building. They just look down upon them. One of them goes down. Again, he can't approach. Trying to do something like that, you can question it. He was attacking a player where he had like 10% health. I mean, he may have not had anything in the bag. He may have not been able to do it. But when you've got scopes and you can look from that kind of height and that kind of angle, it's game over.
Yeah, it's very hard. OC7, again, there was not much he could have done. He was pretty much playing at a huge... He needs to land the kind of like one instant shot off with the head and then kind of follow up. Cake here, though, in a long-range battle, but that 8 times is going to work wonderfully. Shotgun on the back, not perfect, but suppressed as well with the 8 times on this sort of Scar. I like it. Big fan, but there's very limited cover for him to work through and towards. Cloud9 will happily play these areas out. They're very diligent players. Curious what loot they have to play with here, but Cake's in a predicament now. You can see him considering, do I go to the water? Do I try and work my way up? He can head towards the more northern side of things, but those shots are keeping him pinned.
That's what they're doing. They're just picking it to say, okay, we know exactly where you are, my friend. There is no point in trying it. One person's going to go across the bridge. Can he land some shots off? He's looking for blood. He scopes in hard. I'm not seeing any blood whatsoever, but he's pre-leaning those shots, trying to get the bullets. They do turn on a pinhead, so none of those will count whatsoever. But a Scar with a silencer and an 8-time scope is a very, very nasty weapon. If he gets lucky, and if one of C90 try and poke, try and get a pick, he might get lucky and find one of the heads, but it's whether or not they show themselves. They've got the building. They don't really have to do anything. We'll take a look at the game right now, Lauren.
But they also don't have suppressors at the moment, so they're the ones making noise, whereas Cake and the other guys, they're actually okay at the moment. They've still got the suppressors, so he can take these fights without being too worried of the other opponents rolling up on him. Generally, you're not going to be running through that area anyway. There's a little amount of escape because they still have, I think, the buggy in form. I think we saw earlier Cake trying to shoot out the tires, so it limits them to being stuck here. But there's plenty of escape for Cake. He doesn't need to stick around to this if he doesn't want to. Sweater only with that level 1 helmet as well needs to be a little cautious, but oh my word, breaks down, taking a fight here as well. He's got his teammates still up, so he doesn't get knocked, but the helmet gone. Clearly a headshot being landed. Now he's still safe. The circle's pretty convenient for him, but he needs AIM to help him out here.
He's looking around the corner, and he's also very cautious himself. He will back around the wall, just give himself some cover. MPR is going to move in. It's whether or not he knows where this other player is, just looking down the barrel of that wall. If someone banks him, unfortunately, it could be the end. He's so cautious. He knows exactly that this player is on the opposite side. Break's obviously following, giving him the information. Break
Wait, is it the other TSM team doing this?
I didn't catch it. That would be rough if it was.
I think it was. Okay, so Break's safe to revive. At this point, he's going to try and, adjust the free look so he can spot the house push if required. Now, they've got a Car 98, so hopefully at this point, Break coming back into this will be able to actually take a bit of a fight here and maybe return some fire, but without a helmet, you're jiggle peeking like a champ.
I don't even think he had a scope though, Lauren. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I was looking at both of his guns. He's got the UMP and the Car 98 in there, but there were no scopes whatsoever. He may have been able to take one himself, but as we hope on board with Ollie from Team Liquid, he's down. Unfortunately, stuck between a tree and one player just hanging around the back of it. Whether or not his teammate's in a good position, he is running parallel to that tree to give himself that cover, try and get him up. But look at this, here comes Hayes. Hayes goes in, he gets the lean, he also gets the taps on one player. He's going to be able to get Ollie up here, but he needs to be careful of grenades. He's done the damage to Julia, he's forced her back. Yeah, exactly. You're hoping that there's no nades on board, and it's also enough time that you'd hope the opponent now will take the time to heal. She's also considering, can I get my teammate back up? Is he? Yeah, he's out. So Outsider's actually still alive as well. He's my dark horse in this one, but Sequisha goes down, a real shame. The guy he put on a show before, and sadly almost no meds here on the other side. Julia's working with so little, and my word, she has a mountain to climb. Single fire still as well, wants to keep it controlled, wants to tap away. Nice approach, keeping away from the tree to allow herself a little bit of time to work back in, and now goes for the heal. Oh, you can see the nerves, you can see her wanting to get the revive, but scared to do so. Personally, I'd like to see that she's got a grenade on her belt. She should be throwing that thing and forcing them out, especially when they're coming down. We're going to hear a plane going by as well. She will try and run out. She does unfortunately fall. He picks up his second, wiping out the entire team there. Now we're going to try and loot a med. There's going to be a grenade on there also. But now I think they've got a little bit of time to play. Two more players as well. I'm looking at pretty much two boxes. We've got two loot drops next to one another in a very close area. So look for the crunch coming in around the center of this circle. Players will be looking at them, but they do look at first glance, kind of look they're in no man's land. No real cover. Again, we'll have to go back and make sure that what I'm saying is absolutely correct, but it didn't look like they were in a very particularly good spot. As we do stick here with Interroga, just getting some information. He's got a Daculus with him also, looking through the portholes of this shack and just making sure no one's around, because, all right, you've got 360 cover in a shack, but once they leave here, they've got to do a big run through a very empty field. And here's the sprays coming in. That's Interrogate. Nice work. Lovely control as well. The car's going to continue going. You can see this guy very, very diligent here. But out in the open, he's going to take shots himself. He's given away the position, run the dinner bell a little bit. He needs to be careful to not take too much damage. Fall back in heal. He's done work already. Knocking out a player out of a car always screws people over, and you know it's awkward for them to try and do anything. So again, TSM now losing out on players. He will fall, but again, he'll stand his ground and make sure that if these guys want to try and get out of this shack, he's going to be able to get some sort of sight lines on them. Meanwhile, there's still a battle going down. Kick's still stuck in this corner. He's not moving. Fair play to him. If he knows C9 are in there, then why? In fact, is that one of his I don't know if that's his teammates. I don't think it actually is. Is that his teammate's body? No, it's not. So he killed someone coming up on the hills there, down the rocks. Now he's going to get even more gear, and he's still got that 8 times, I believe, inside the bag. So red dot on, if anyone wants to come up close and personal, which clearly has happened. But still, look at C9. This is going to be a standoff for quite some time. Yeah, this is going to just carry on. They both have the same theory here. Andy going down. You can see Chappie still in this one. The Cloud9 boys doing well on both fronts, even though one team is a little pinned in. Just trying to be whittled away out. It's all about longevity in duos here. Let's have a little look how this is going down. Look at this open area. There's actually very little cover in this sort of area. This is one of the solo houses towards the top of the hill, I guess, leading up to Stalba. It's a very, very strange area. You're using a lot of deflates, and you're hoping as well for 4 times, 8 times Car 98. That's what you need in this. It doesn't matter if you have it on the rifle, but you need it because you're open ground. A lot of high ground going to be dominated. You can see it already. Stalba's going to be a little bit of an interesting issue. And Unroot's up there with the Haze, with Liquid and Haze up there. We've got a lot of teams moving in towards this. There's the other guys for Liquid. Scooms just down there, spotting out, spots Adacia, lets a shot fly. That SKS hoping for a hit, but doesn't seem to have found his target. Moreman is dead though, so he is on his own, unfortunately. Level 1 helmet into, still trying to take some pop shots, lean those shots, try and get a cheeky one as they're moving around in the down. So if he does land one of those, it would be amazing. Meanwhile, Daz knocks out Obang down in the kill feed there. We're moving on with Lex. Oh, he's got a nice little, you know, the AWP setup almost, not the AWM, you know, just bear with me. It's got the 8 times and the Car 98. Loads of ammo with it too, and he's pinning players in. This is nice from him. Hard for him to back away, but he has the support beside him. That's going to be from Flom, so they can hold the high ground here for now as well. Maybe they can get a couple of picks or two, and he can just about slide off those rocks for you to still open yourself up. You can see the smokes going down. They don't want to lose out on this, and boom, finding the whole Panda team, it seems like. So he's being able to at least full kill them, not allowing a revive on one. Now Lex going to go for a peek or two, and they'll look up and over.
See, trying to make this count. He does actually have the suppressor on the Car 90 as well, so very, very nice stuff for him. And the other side, well, their backs are to the blue, so they're going to be running away, trying to readjust, but they don't have much room to work with.
I think the best play for them is run away and just keep that foliage cover, keep the trees on the back, and then make the way and really chase the edge of the circle. It's there. That's exactly what they're going to do. Meanwhile, he's still focused on this. I don't think he actually has eyes on them. Whether or not he catches them in that gap there, he's looking the right way, so you might see them.
You're hearing Flom laying down a bit of fire, I think. Yeah, and there's the tag coming through. So Xion's in a little bit of trouble. Got to be careful. If Flom's able to spot it, and they basically got this one under wraps. The push-up's going to be very hard for him, and Evermore, forever not in the circle, Clevermore, whatever you want to call it, he's going to have to be running through. This is going to get a little bit tricky. He's very good at this, of course. Let's take nothing away from him. He is very, very talented at being able to make these plays, but you can hear a couple of players going to be prepared for this on the other side when he moves through Yasnaya. So that's going to be his issue. If you see it in the kill feed, that's probably the issue. And, oh, wow, look at this. 2 players in one side of thing, 2 players in the other. Lost aiming's just on the other side. And at least this time, Jared isn't on a bike. So hopefully he can survive. Stody just died out of the play zone. Stody, what's going on?
And we saw one player also die from falling. But one thing to note from Evermore's point of view, Panzer, was how far away his teammate was. They completely split off and go to 2 different looting directions. Again, they're going to meet up late game, provided not one of them dies. We're going to see 2 more people fall in the kill feed there. Didn't quite catch a glimpse of who it was. Meanwhile, we now see these players will be forced to move 55 seconds, and the blue will be moving in on them. Yeah,
we're down to 55 players remaining. The circle's going to get pretty tight. This sort of play around here is a lot about using pretty much as much as you can, good positioning. Get decent ground where you've got at least some safety beside you because it's very open. The rocks still work well. Lex is doing damage, and that's great. He found Xion. You saw that battle going for quite some time. Very hard to keep up with this. When they left that little bit of foliage cover, more shots to continue as this is going to be so rife. And yeah, Flom and Lex can fall back when they want to, head further north up the hill, and actually they don't have anyone to fight them. And now we're still going to be jumping on board with the Noble guys. They'll be doing all right. They've still got the bike with them. They're making a lot of noise. This is, I guess, brave. I don't know why you want to give this all away, but maybe a quick escape is what they want to keep in mind. And they still have a lot of high ground. There are players above them in Stalber, but for now, they can kind of relax a little bit and just watch out. That's all it is. Just get the spots. You don't even need to engage all that much either.
I mean, yes, it is a quick escape, but there's also the issue with the bike. When you're driving it at such a speed, if someone sees you and they're good at leading the shots, you are going to go down. There's no defense from any of the vehicles whatsoever, and I believe this is the kill from...
That'll be Lex and Flom.
Lex and Flom earlier on with the Car 98.
Yep.
So he's just tagged him up as he's crawling on the floor there, and they are still alive and still in the game. Moleman is still dead, as you saw earlier on.
Scoom's still alive.
You can hear the shots, though.
Forzen. Forzen's still kicking, right? He was one of the players who did very well early on. We saw, from, you know, one horrible position to another, you were kind of screwed no matter what you did, and we love a bit of ragdoll action, just slowly flops down. But outside is the guy I want to keep my eye on. He is one of my MVPs in this. I don't know if he's still got his teammate up. A very good player individually. Oh, if only he had a bit of a better scope here, Yoonroot. But working with pretty much just the red dot, still in a good spot in the Wizard Tower. Circle's closing in. If anything, it'll play to him better now at this point. So we'll see if he can maybe make this position work for himself. You always will be focused, but you have so much cover to work with. So it does still work very nicely to your favor.
Chilling in the tower, just waiting for anyone to wander by and happily take them down, because you do have the height advantage. You do have the cover as well if you need to drop behind the wall and lay down. But he's got eyes on the rocks. I believe he knows someone's up there, or at least are waiting for someone to crawl down. Everybody on the fast side of the hill as we enter this one. Several people now moving in. We're on with I Am Lucy as she's making her way in with the buggy. Going to be making a lot of noise, though, and she's only half health. She is stimmed, at least. That's going to be keep on ticking while she's driving. Oh, there you have it.
And you can see the reaction.
Gone.
Oh, no, the spin comes in. She has to get out, needs to get cover. Hope she can get down towards the defilade. She needs it. One shot will do it. Stylish Noob takes her down. Heartbreak for her. It looked like she may have just almost got there, but no. You can see the guy who took her down there. It's Stylish Noob again, who's been playing very well. The early kill towards Oshi7 and Serenity. Scoom going to find a couple of kills here and there. The back and forth Drifter, I think, just went down completely as well. Not a knockout, a full kill. Down to under 50 now. Things are getting very interesting. This position is lovely. Once that circle now will kind of close in, they have the defilade to work with. They can peek up and over and play it however they want, or they go for the early reposition. All the players from the hill will have to start looking at the next options. Or do we want to hit a bit of ammo, maybe a new helmet or two? You can see the hands shaking, looking for the pickups here. Needs a little bit of the meds. What does he have so much of? 15 bandages as well. A lot going on. There needs to get rid of some of the attachments. They take up so much room, so going to put some of that 5.56 in. Got loads of 7.62, which obviously does take more space up in the backpacks, but a worthwhile switch out, and you know you can't drop it if you don't have the room in the backpack. Gotta love the system. So, does get the loot done pretty much at this point, trying to keep it as efficient as possible, and let's see how this one unfolds. In the northeast, you still have a couple of players, some playing in the water, they're doing the water tactic, cheesy, whatever, but Ninja and Chips are going to have to deal with that one. That's something coming in. On the eastern side, everyone's working through. There is a battle about to come down as well. Boom, knocking out Stylish Noob. So this is the battle that I was maybe expecting to happen. Interrogate's there, looking to help out his teammate, scared of what's happening. Evermore arrives on the scene, finally, out of the blue and into the fight. 30 seconds on the next circle. He can position well, but he's walking into an unknown environment. You don't know where they are. He could be a spray down for someone. But Ollie, I think, just got taken down by Yunru. He did. The Koreans are still in this, and they are doing damage.
The biggest issue with these two turning up so late is that because they've taken so much damage from the blue, so they do arrive on this. As you mentioned perfectly, Lauren, they're an open target, but they're a very weak target. Several shots will be coming on them. He's moving out, and I believe he's completely tagged up. You saw the health. I'm looking for that kill feed. That's all it's going to need.
How is he still alive in this one?
He's just bailed it.
Do you know what, Evermore? You're that guy, aren't you? Fair enough. Do you know what? If you want a QA tester, he's your man right now. He's still stimmed up. He can get a couple of the meds going on. They are going to do the water tactic, which is cheesy, but grenades can help. You can see Luminosity doing the same thing as well. So, you know, whatever you like, whether you like it or not, there's two teams doing this as we speak. Yunru, though, is completely dismantling Liquid. Hayes just falls by the wayside, and he's going to do this all day long. We don't need to watch this. There's nothing he can do in the form of a fight. He might pop up and down to maybe do a little something, but it's not that interesting to me. So let's look elsewhere if we can and jump off this perspective, because the close is coming in. The circle's still good for them. You can see all the kills coming
Everyone's
through.
dying now.
Boom's taking them down. It's going to be the battle as we still watch the fishes, please. Please.
I'm loving what LG have done. They've kind of built themselves a little mini fortress out of a boat and a car.
People will just end up blowing them up. Break still in this, knocking out Curvy Llama. I think that's Gassy Mexican's partner, and there's Gassy Mexican to follow. That's the team down. Break is still in this. You can see on the kill feed. And there's the spray coming in from the Vector at this point. Well done on the extended mag, up to 25. Very, very viable. And people are just dying left, right, and center. Vicstar finally goes down. A lot of longevity towards him. 35 players now remain. This is going to kick off. There's so many alive in such a small area. Every single angle contains a threat.
TSM, they know they've got bodies in front of them, so they can go and loot, but they don't have much time. 1 minute 30, and the blue will be on their back. They need to move in, but as they move in, there are going to be so many people just waiting in ambush to take them down. This team here, though,
word. Yunru.
He's dead.
He's still alive. He's on the other side of those rocks. He will have to eventually move to them, but you can see Interroga wants this kill. They said they're aggressive. They said they like to make these plays, but do they know exactly where he is?
He's dead now.
Someone else found him.
He did.
Okay,
this C9.
Yeah, no, you can see it falling back. This is just back and forth. This is instant action, covering fire coming through. Cloud9 getting the kills in. Some of the Noble guys are going down, but the other side of Noble is still alive. Two of them in a great position, slow side of the circle. Solid FPS here for Cloud9 in a better position too. In the circle, good cover. Limited vision, sadly, towards the north side, but south he's got the perfect push down spot. Borg there going to find Lex. Lex finally goes down, but he was on a high kill count as well, doing well. And you can see other teammates bleeding out. The walking wounded here. The blue's going to move in soon. I don't know if we're going to have time for a revive. You can see him crawling, Jared praying for someone to help him out here. And this battle was going on from the very start, but now Mazzarini's still alive as well. The land god himself, known for his days in Power Gaming back in COD 4. We're going to see if he can maybe find some late game action. Jared getting revived, get back in. Only 5 bandages though. He's going to have to use them fast and get moving. The battle continues for Cloud9 as well.
Solid FPS, going to try and use these bandages, but unfortunately he can only do so much. There are several people right in his line of sight. He's looking for his teammate to give him some support, and he's right behind him. If he does fall, he might be able to get a pick up, but he sees 2 Interrogates on the hill. He tags him up. Interrogates pushed back now, and as you mentioned, Lauren, 28 alive, and this circle, well, he's getting very small, but there's still plenty of people alive in this late game.
Yeah, Interrogate's still fine. I like this position as him. He can define the fights that he's being pinched on at the moment, but you can see every shot comes through, everything counts, so taking down armor, taking down helmets, it all very much counts, especially at 25 remaining. Ninja managed to take out Mazzarini. That's big. There's Ninja. Lovely control on the shots as well, forcing them to play him from the blue, just about giving himself enough time to run away. And you've got to be so precise in those fights because you give away your position. Stimmed up to the faster run as well. He's getting in. It looks as though Break's been taken down. Flom's doing the work, and his teammate's just been found too. This is so deadly. Mazzarini's teammate from the grave essentially is still trying to make this costly for the Luminosity guys. Mazzarini did finally go down outside of the blue zone, and then the blue zone is claiming victims here.
Borg takes down MPR as well. Mithrin, oh, he's going to take down Strat. We'll see One Shot Girl also following that. This is where everything starts to get wild. We're moving into the top 10. Chipsy will die. We saw Ninja walking away from him. He says, look, go mate, I am completely out of this one. And now they're all starting to get kind of lined up. Two players, though, they're about to meet one another. If they look to the left, if Solid and Chappie turn around, they do have the hill, though. They have the height advantage, so neither players will be seeing one another. But now, turning up to the fight, a lot later on, we saw Sweater and his teammate. They were just sat here, him and Borg. But Borg has been getting a lot of kills. Borg, remember, is the replacement. Borg is the guy that was drafted in. He's the stand-in.
Yeah, great movement as well, going from cover piece to cover piece, not allowing free shots to come in without having to trade out. But he might get into a fight with either Noble or the other Cloud9 guys. You can see generally good players with the right approach will play to a certain aspect. They play the slower side of the circle. They play to the terrain outsider. This is the guy, this is my guy that I'm going to tip to be a very interesting factor down the line. His teammate's already gone, but he's playing the long game. He's playing the long con. Sweater might be in for some action pretty soon. I don't know if they're aware. Just off towards their northeast are plenty of teammates. They could be walking into a pinch here. They are safe for now.
We'll keep this one going through until we see several people. We're just sticking on board with Cloud9 again. They were doing the late game thing, as we saw earlier on, just propped up in the houses, waiting for people to make a move. Interroga's over here.
They're so close. The two teams are literally just off tiniest amounts.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate their positioning compared to the circle? Look at this. They are above everyone. They're up in the rocks. They have a sight line, and anyone that wants to make the way in, fair enough, there are a lot of trees below them. This
is the flank danger, though. This is what I was talking about with Cloud9. They can go up and still catch them off guard because they think that side is safe. Their teammate is watching it, though. The other Noble member is watching it, and here comes a quick push as well. This is Outsider finally getting to the battle. He spots out one. He's going to see two. He knows where they are. He's just in the circle as well. As long as the back part of your character's in, he might need to wiggle a little bit because he's going to let them all fight out. He's playing for the long con. Scoom going to find Ninja. And oh, he's been spotted. He's got to take a fight. That's some great damage, and they're splitting the attention. He's down. He gets completely destroyed. Nice work from Noble. Not just taking one fight on one, but splitting the attention between two. Now the further fights break out. Noble boys know that Cloud9 are close here.
And they're still in the circle. It's giving them a wonderful ride right now. They have several people behind them. They're already tanking them up, as you mentioned earlier on. One of them, it's only been tanked up a little bit, but that's fine. Idacula's still full health. Pan on the back. UMP and M4 also. You can hear the shots, so they know where several people are at. Interrogate his teammate. Will find one, knocks out Solid FPS, which now means that Chappie has to go and help him out. Chappie's going to be worried, and they're all downhill.
You can go for the revive. You've got to hope that someone else engages against Noble because they're making a lot of noise. You've got to hope that the other Cloud9 guys get involved and help you somehow. Going to try and provide themselves. Oh, and it looks like Cloud9 are going to be fighting against themselves here. Great play from these guys, though. The circle worked well for them, but they claimed the high ground and they're playing off the back of it well. You shoot with a height advantage. Generally, every shot that lands will go to the head hitbox, but look at the Mountain Goat scaling on the right side there. And I don't know if Scoom spots it or if he just doesn't want to be involved. There's a player just running up that hill. He is ignoring them as much as possible, hoping he can get all the attention towards the guys on the rocks and he can be the shadow, playing it off the back. But Interroga is still keeping eyes very much peeled. They are the target. They are pretty much king of the hill, quite literally here, as the 8 remaining players start to show. You see the visuals coming through. Chappie's gone down. It is starting to really crunch here.
They need to be very careful. He's watching every single angle, and I'm loving this cover that they give. Two players will try and make their way up, but unfortunately, Borg knocks him out. He takes him down with a headshot. They do have this cover, though, from these rocks, kind of like a bunker system. He can't get it up, but look at C9. They know that he's getting him up.
From Borg.
Here's the aggression.
Quick push.
They're going to go for it.
Oh, there's still a headshot angle. Borg played that so well, playing the timing perfectly, gets a position, claims the high ground. Now he can rain down fire on the remaining players. This is what it comes down to. Cloud9 just working in. Oh, what? Sweater goes down. That's a big shot with the SKS coming through. And the blue, it's not going to favor them. They don't have helmets either. Oh my God, they're pretty exposed here. This could still go the other way.
Let's see how this one plays out. We'll take it down for a second. Two players still remaining at the bottom of the hill, but as you mentioned, they managed to take Noble out. Get rid of them. They can't get the gear, though, as you mentioned. Oh.
No helmets on the other side,
there's only one player, I think, with a helmet, and is that going to be Scoom?
No, Scoom's gone. It's a 2v2. We're down to a 2v2 here. We've got the Cloud9 boys on the high ground, but they've got bodies littered everywhere, so they can pick up some loot. On the other side, I think that's Whitaker, I'm going to call him, or WTCNN. with his teammates still alive, bear in mind. So, and the circle's in their favor. They are standing here right now. He should win this unless nades or something else force him out. He knows where they are. Extended bullets on as well. He's got it all. And well, Cloud9, if there's any time to prove what you're made of, it is in with this moment. 8 seconds remain on the circle. They have to move. They have to go. And they know it. They're baiting out the shots. They're praying someone peeks. Sweater's being the bait. He's just praying someone shoot at me. Please take me down. Let my teammate trade it. And he can't. Great after positioning here coming in. And now it's just the 1v2. This gets a bit scary.
Goes for the kill. And there you have it. Mithrin seals the dinner. Winner, winner. We have it. Six kills as well. That's awesome. That's a good bumper. That adds a lot more points on top of the points they've actually got for the win also. Incredible, incredible stuff. They stood the ground. You watched before. We saw it with Noble. We saw it with Cloud9. They had the rock advantage. They had the height. Yeah. But as soon as that circle moves, we then see the guys at the bottom who can just say, okay, boys, you have to make your way to us. You have to come to us. We'll sit here. We'll let them bring the fight to us. And there you have it. They bagged the first win. They take first blood in day 2, which of course is our duos tournament.
Yeah, that's Bosphorus, the team won. So Mithrin and WTCNN picking up the kills there, and just great positioning, if I'm completely honest. They played that very smart. The circle helped them out, but they split themselves up enough that neither player could be taken down without the other being able to trade it. You could see the approach coming in from the opponents. They were going to try and bait out one player, allow the one who is still on the rocks to take the shots and open up opportunities. It didn't work out. Good positioning, good play, and they played for kills as well, which I really like to see. They weren't quiet on that front. You can see for their team, they have 44 points from kills, which is some of the highest there is, so they did very well in this.
544 after game 1. Yes, indeed. C9 below them, 392. Noble, 302. Liquid, 302. And shout out to Scoom for surviving so long. You saw Molman. He went down probably mid to early game, still bagging 302 points between them. Chappie and Solid FPS in 5th. And then as we work our way down 6th, 7th, and 8th, everyone still, I mean,